At this point, Jon Jones will literally do anything but fight Tom Aspinall. It was announced about 3 days ago, ALF reality show, which is a show that recently had Hamza and Arman Sarukian as coaches and Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling as coaches. It's essentially Russian knockoff Ultimate Fighter. That's essentially what the show is. They have announced that the next season, because the Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling season's not even out yet, so that might mean that this being ALF Reality 2, meaning that this one might come before the Peter Yan Aljamain Sterling one. I don't know. But Jon is going to be competing with Nate Diaz as coaches of ALF Reality 2. This is fucking despicable, bro. I've talked about this quite a few times. Jon Jones is just sitting out so he can hold on to that UFC undisputed champion title as long as possible, because things like this, they write you a lot bigger check when you're the active UFC champ. You get these offers a lot more frequently, and the offers are a lot bigger. Now, that's exactly what Jon Jones is doing. Nate Diaz isn't even really fighting anymore. Can't really fault him for doing this. There's nobody waiting for a fight with Nate Diaz, but there's somebody waiting for a fight with Jon Jones. This is embarrassing, dude. I mean, get your bag however you can, but this is embarrassing that we're not getting Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall anytime soon because of something like this. And Jon Jones is allegedly going to be in Thailand for 2 months for this, which means the earliest he'll start training again is probably August. So, like I've said a few times, if we get this fight with Aspinall, it's probably going to be in November at Madison Square Garden. And it's starting to look like with this reality show and stuff, that might be as soon as it could happen, which sucks. You also have Nate Diaz and Jon Jones just kind of yapping about Islam Makhachev, saying he hasn't been in the game very long, kind of coping about the ends of their careers. It's kind of like old heads being salty, but this is the video right here.
He's talking about with Islam. He's saying that he's a little new in the sport still.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do before.
But he has a big future. You got a big future.
Big future, but I think that same Habib.
Khabib, not Hadith.
Not long.
Yeah, not very long.
Yeah, just under pressure just was done a lot. You kept on keeping on, and I still.
Like,
well, how is this even arguing?
The longer you're on top, the more time your opponents get to study your footage. And people fixate on fighting you instead of the next opponent.
And it's starting.
Yeah, it gets harder and harder the longer you stick around. We get older.
And then they're yelling at you, and you're like, you started to me. So it's like, why are you even talking? I'm talking like this.
We have to get the full background of this. Nate Diaz has beef with the Khabib and Islam crew going back like 8-9 years at this point. Jon Jones is always going to find an explanation, an excuse, a justification, whatever it is, as to why he's the best fighter of all time and why someone else is. But they're saying he has a very bright future. And keep in mind that Islam Makhachev is pound for pound #1 above Jon Jones. And he also has almost an identical record to Jon Jones, 27-1 versus 28-1. I know that Islam was actually knocked out and Jon Jones got DQ'd. And then Nate Diaz has never held a belt in his fucking life. He's got like 15 career losses. He's like 21-16 or something like that. Delusional, old head, yapping. You know what I'm saying? And on top of all this, we have Tom Aspinall waiting for his next title defense, which now it seems like it's going to be Surreal Gone. Thanks, Jon. Tom did give us something that makes me think that Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall is already signed for Madison Square Garden. This is Tom Aspinall on a podcast. This got posted 15 hours ago at the time of recording this video.
In my opinion, if you look at his body of work over the last 15 years, he's like as close as you can get to perfection as possible. He's like 37, 38 years old, but not only that, he's got 1 million miles on the clock. So he's got a lot of damage on the body. He's took a lot of shots to the head. And that's not me saying anything negative about it. That's the reality of it. And I'm sure Jon Jones is aware of that. And he's fighting one of the most concussive punchers in UFC history.
And he's fighting one of the most concussive punchers in UFC history. Now, this could be Tom manifesting. This could be Tom just saying it like because that's the fight that's next, even if it's not signed. Or it could be Tom hinting that we already have a fight. So I'll let him cook.
And I just think I can exploit it. Like, I think to get out the way of me for 25 minutes at this point in his career without getting hit once, and that's all I need is just one. I think that's going to be very difficult for anybody.
Now, first off, I agree with what Tom Aspinall said there about it being very hard for Jon to get away from the biggest puncher he's ever faced for 25 minutes and a real heavyweight that's younger than him, all of that. That's all true. But also, I think that Tom Aspinall accidentally leaked the fight. So while we do have this nonsense going on here, we have this reality show BS, I think we're still going to get this Jones and Aspinall fight. I know I talk about this essentially once a week on this channel, but I think we're actually going to get it. This, just some yap. Ignore that bullshit. You got Nate Diaz, never got a belt, all that stuff, kind of salty that Islam Makhachev, someone that he doesn't like, has achieved a lot more than he has in the sport and probably made just as much, if not more money. But Jon Jones is more just butthurt about the idea of anybody being the best of all time other than him. So there's my thoughts. Let me know yours down below. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out linked below.